You're watching KNDO Channel 23, Yakima. And this is KNDO News 23, Late Edition.
Some Washingtonians are sharpening their skills for the '94 Olympic Games. Yes, ice sculpting is in the lineup. And the cast of Cheers looks back at their favorite episodes. Good evening, I'm Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us on the Late Edition. America's favorite bar closed its doors tonight, but not without a farewell party to send the cast their very best. Here in Yakima, Cheers fans are spending the evening reminiscing over the last 11 years.
Another one coming.
Tonight's celebration includes a look at a look-alike contest and prizes for the best Cheers trivia buff. Faithful watchers reflect on some of their favorite characters.
Woody. Yeah, he's been my mentor through the years, even though I don't look anything like him.
Oh, I think I'm going to miss Sam's lines the most. I'm going to run out of lines if I...
Rebecca.
Why?
Because she's great. She's so funny. I just love the way she acts and the things she says. She's so dingy.
I kind of like Woody's stupid lines. I'm known for a dumb line or two every once in a while, and people just call me Woody, so yeah, I can relate to his character. My favorite character is got to be Norm, because he's got the classy one-liners, and he's got my favorite drink.
Red Lion Inns across the country are sponsoring the Cheers to Cheers night. Taking a look at some other news from around the valley, an arsonist is at large tonight as the Toppenish congregation is devastated to learn that they have no longer a church. This is how the Faith Lutheran Church looked early this morning, caught on video. 24 firefighters were at the scene, one who ended up in the hospital for smoke inhalation. The building became totally engulfed, but fast-acting firefighters had the blaze out in about a half hour. This is how the church looked this afternoon. Investigators plowed through the charred mess and were amazed to find how it started.
Determined that it was a set fire by an arsonist, and this arsonist used approximately 3 to 5 gallons of gasoline to burn this church down.
Someone with a sick mind.
Parishioners who came to see what's left of their church were obviously angry. Reports show that someone broke in and stole stereo and computer equipment. The investigation reveals, however, that the fire was set. Whoever set the fire certainly knew what they were doing. Authorities say that they have a lead as to who would be the arsonist, but so far there have been no arrests. Damages are estimated at $500,000. A wedding was scheduled to take place in the church on this Saturday. It's finally up to the judge now to hand down the sentence to murderer Christine Varness. This morning, both sides gave closing arguments for Judge Susan Hahn to consider before making her decision. Defense attorney Adam Moore went through the steps leading up to the murder of Varness's mother. Moore says Varness never intended to kill her. She was just reacting to the news that her mother had encouraged the sexual abuse Varness suffered as a child. She says the actual killing should be the focus of this hearing, but instead people are zeroing in on how Varness cut her mother into several pieces.
But to do it to a dead body that had laid in this tub for 2 days, it isn't cruel. To be cruel, you've got to be cruel to a living being.
The prosecuting attorney John Monter disagrees, saying that the dismemberment was almost ironic, considering Varness's claim she just wanted to shut her mother up, not kill her.
Mutilated. It wasn't necessary to remove her jaw, to drop it back in the cement with everything. No. It was rather symbolic. I shut Mom up. I removed her mouth.
Monter argues that although suffered years of sexual abuse, it does not give her a free ticket to kill. Judge Hahn has asked for a few days to consider what Varness's sentence will be. She faces up to 10 years after a plea bargain reduced the charges for murder to manslaughter. The sentence will be handed down Monday morning. Officials say a failed levy for Kittitas County Hospital will significantly impact the 25,000 people that are serving there. The levy would have provided $225,000 for the 30-year-old facility, covering needed operational costs and maintenance and emergency room coverage. Hospital officials say these lost funds may require a cut in their 24-hour physician care.
You may have to make it back to an on-call basis where if you're injured or sick, as a patient you come into the emergency room, the nurse sees you, and then calls a doctor who will come in from home or from the office to see you.
Hershey says there was a lot of confusion by the public and they just didn't understand the issue. And although the funding is greatly needed, Ellensburg mayor says its failure would have come from tax resistance.
I think it's just the tension of the conflict between more taxes and more need, and we're going to have the need, and so we'll get, whatever we get, we're going to have to pay for. That's the point.
The hospital board says it will reapply the levy in the fall. Officials say they hope to better educate Kittitas County and press in order to vital needs for that funding. Ellensburg has also got a messy problem on their hands, pigeons. So the city council is taking action to equalize the feathered menace. They are authorized a contract for trapping the birds, about 800 to be exact. The council is looking for business support so the city isn't the sole payer for pigeon control. Officials say the pigeon problem is not as featherweight as it sounds.
A lot of the awnings, sidewalks, so in addition to being unsightly, it also creates a health hazard because the droppings are a source of bacterial infection and fungus infection.
So we're trying to get them to move to some other place. We're not destroying them or destroying their habitat, because this is not their natural habitat on top of the downtown buildings.
And they will be put to use. The pigeons may become feed for hawk owners. Guaranteed pizza delivery in under 30 minutes may be a thing of the past. Consumer groups are urging Domino's Pizza to stop their offer, claiming the guarantee promotes speeding and the potential for accidents. A Domino's franchise in Spokane says they will continue their 30-minute guarantee but will not offer any discounts if the pizza is late. Domino's contends the guarantee is not dangerous and stresses driver safety programs. Domino's recently reached a $3 million settlement with a family of an Indiana woman killed by a pizza truck, allegedly speeding in order to meet a 30-minute deadline. Well, good grades, perfect attendance, and outstanding performance in school are all goals that are sometimes very hard to reach. But for a group of students from White Swan, Toppenish, and Goldendale schools, these goals are very much a reality. The Yakima Indian Nation awarded the students with plaques, certificates, and framed awards this morning for a showing of dedication into school. Many of the students say they are juggling work with other sports and other activities, but no matter what else they have going, their main focus remains on school.
We can do good. We can get to a nice college and go to work at a nice job. So that when you get older, that you wouldn't have a hard time learning.
Students from many schools all over the Lower Valley were also recognized in the afternoon ceremony. The meteorologist Mike LaPoint is going to be here in just a few minutes. He'll have our weather forecast.
Hardware and Garden. More of everything. Create the look you want with the name you can trust with Gerber. Easy to install spindles, posts, and rails. Enhance your home porch or deck. Made in the USA at Eagle.
Beginning Friday is Yakima's biggest automotive clearance event. Yakima's leading dealers transfer over $8 million of new and used vehicles to the Valley Mall for immediate sacrifice. 3 new vehicles up to $8,000 off. Hundreds of program and used vehicles up to $7,000 off. Prices start at just $9.95. Free price posted, but make us any offer. All our dealership closed will all be at the Valley Mall beginning Friday.
You have been involved in a serious accident. The insurance adjuster is at your door wanting you to settle. Do you need an attorney?
Ben Johnson was severely injured. The insurance company is pushing him to settle. He called us to be sure he gets a fair settlement. Let's gather all the necessary information.
When a
and
serious
proceed
accident
with the case.
happens, you should call an attorney experienced in personal injury cases. At Aveda Nelson, our job is to get you fair and full compensation. Your first visit is free and there is no charge unless we recover for you. Call us at Aveda Nelson, the firm that gets results.
Let's talk fun. Let's talk lots of Jeep Wranglers. Let's talk loaded. Let's talk price. Enough talk. Go take a test drive. Be sure you get your Jeep Wrangler before someone beats you to it.
Mike LaPoint's weather forecast has been approved by the American Meteorological Society.
Another one of those days when you want to keep the small pets and your children indoors, otherwise they might blow away. Lots of blowing conditions here in the valley, even up in Ellensburg. Hopefully things will simmer down a little bit for the weekend. Meteorologist Mike LaPoint joins us now for our forecast. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Mark. A very windy evening. Thunderstorm moves through. Right now we've had reports of lots of high winds and tree limbs that are on the ground. So be careful. If you're out driving around tonight, the winds will still be very strong. Outside we go with our current ratings. Mostly cloudy skies. 59 degrees the temperature. Our winds are from the south at 6 miles an hour. Humidity 75%. Barometric pressure is rising. The high temperature today 78 after a low this morning of 54 degrees. The satellite picture for this evening will show you mostly cloudy skies right now over the area, and that'll be the story. A little disturbance right now in the upper atmosphere is what's kicking off all that moisture, and some pretty heavy thunderstorms right around the Walla Walla area. This is all moving to the northeast at about 20 miles an hour. Moved through the Tri-Cities a little bit earlier this evening, producing some heavy downpours of rain, also some very windy conditions. Our rain total here at the Yakima Airport, only 5/100ths of an inch of rain, so I think we may see a little bit more later on tonight, but the big story will be those gusty winds. Also quite a bit of rain along the west coast down toward the Portland area too. But notice the heavier stuff starting to push into the western part of Montana as this cell right here is moving to the northeast at about 20 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, we're at 59 degrees, 67 in Wenatchee, 62 in the Tri-Cities as well as Spokane, 58 from Walla Walla and Pendleton, and 56, popular number out toward the west, 58 temperature down in Portland. Now by tomorrow, here's that little weather system that kicked off a few showers here, just taking its toll, and it'll move out to the eastern part of Montana. You'll notice high pressure will eventually start to build in, so look for a very nice day tomorrow. And the weekend is shaping up to be awfully nice over the area. There's that low pressure center that was spinning around all week long, producing quite a bit of clouds and rain along the coast. That'll finally make its move up into portions of British Columbia. High pressure will settle in, and our weekend should be very nice with temperatures running about normal, if not a few degrees above normal as we go toward Sunday. Your forecast for tonight, partly cloudy. It'll be very breezy outside, 48 degrees for an overnight low, 46 in Ellensburg, 53 in the lower valley. West winds at 15 to 30 miles an hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and windy, 73 degrees for a high, 67 in Ellensburg, 75 in the lower valley. Our winds will be from the northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Your extended forecast for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it'll be mostly sunny throughout the period. There's a chance of some few clouds late in the afternoon. Otherwise, 75 degrees for a high on Saturday. We'll bump it up 10 degrees on Sunday with 85, and then on Monday we may go into the 90s. Unfortunately, it looks like it'll be a little bit above normal as we go back to the work week, while overnight lows marked throughout that period. We'll start off 43 degrees on Saturday, and then we'll start to go in the 50s on Sunday and Monday. So a very mild extended forecast is coming your way. Once again, a big story tonight with those gusty winds moving through the area, producing quite a bit of wind damage in the way of tree limbs. I think we'll see some gusty winds later on tonight, but I think the rain has about ended here over the Yakima area. Mark, that's a look at your weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Looks like we're going to have a nice weekend after all. When we come back, the cast from Cheers reflects on some of their favorite moments.
The extreme conditions of our western weather. Rain, snow, freezing temperatures, then searing heat. It's enough to make ordinary paint
crack up. But not Columbia's Masterpiece paint. Columbia is formulated to protect against rugged western weather. And while it adds color to your environment, Masterpiece paint is friendly to everybody's environment. Masterpiece. On sale now at Columbia stores and participating dealers.
Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything. Picture this. McGee picture frames, perfect for the mantle, desktop, or shelf. McGee picture frames and mats for all your framing needs. At Eagle.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Say you want a lot of options for not a lot of money. Try this Caravan. It can be yours for around $15,600. You get both our family value package with air at no extra charge and sale prices on popular options like these. Only at the Minivan store.
Visit your local Northwest Dodge dealer, the minivan specialist. We know how to help.
Jay's taking his show on the road.
This Thursday night, we take the entire show to Boston for a live broadcast from the actual Cheers bar. Hey, Branford, give me a hand with this, will you?
Then stick around for Late Night with LL Cool J and actor Bob Hoskins. All tonight. Better get moving, Jay.
Howdy, folks. Cliff here at IHOP with my latest tune. I wake up in the morning, empty feeling inside. I need me a hearty meal, so I take a short ride. I get a big 2-egg breakfast, and it fills me to the top. And now I'm feeling great thanks to my local IHOP. Sorry, folks, but the song's over. What a great crowd.
The big 2-egg breakfast now only $3.49. That's $3.49 Monday through Friday at IHOP now.
As many of you know, some sports require either a ball and some even require a stick. But in Seattle, there are a couple of guys who've earned a trip to the Winter Olympics using a chainsaw and a very sharp chisel. Kevin Roscoe and Steve Dean will be representing the U.S. in the sculpting competition at the 1994 Olympics in Norway. And while it may not seem like a sport to very many people, it is at a fair, so to speak. They will not be receiving any gold or silver medals, but they will be representing the United States when it comes to ice sculpting when they go to Norway. In this week's All Outdoors, we take a look at how a high-tech business of fishing lures is changing the way we used to look at fishing, and why these days it's more than just putting a hook with a worm.
Figuring out which lure catches the most fish is a mystery anglers have tried to solve for centuries. Today, lures are high-tech creations of art, featuring all the colors of the rainbow and aerodynamic designs to coax bass and trout to bite.
The creation of our plastic body crankbaits begins right here in our own plastic injection room. The design life of a lure starts as an idea by a professional designer or an amateur designer, and good lures catch all species of fish. The leading lures today are bass lures, and often they're changed or modified or rehooked for salmon or trout or other species. And they start with a need for depth control, speed control, and vibration. Those are your first thoughts. And then durability. The look of a lure is part tradition and part precedent of other artists and designers. They kind of meld into one form that's translated through an individual's own mind and his own experience, and that's how I design them. It takes hundreds of hours of experiments to make a crankbait, as simple as they look. One of the most important processes before the lure is put in a package is called tank testing or tank tuning. When you tune it, you want to get the vibration that's built into the lure every time you cast. And plastic lures are very consistent like this. The other reason for tuning is that the lure will not achieve its desired depth if it runs off to the side. If the lure runs to your left, you carefully bend the lip line tie to your right or the direction you want the lure to go.
If the lure runs this way to your right, you carefully bend, not twist, the line tied to the opposite side. I've never had a largemouth bass take an untuned crankbait that was severely running out of tune. Whether you're a bass angler or a trout fisherman, the lure you select will make the difference between going home with a fish or just a fish tail.
Harry knows it all, and I guess there's also some tips on the golf course that people are trying to watch out for.
That's for sure. We'll have a golf tip, also some U.S. Open qualifying action as several locals try to make it to the U.S. Open. Mariner highlights, and the Sonics try to close it out against the Rockets.
Chrysler minivans, over 3 million sold. That's more than all others combined. They're #1 in the hearts and driveways of America, and they're now on sale during Chrysler's National Minivan Sale. Visit the minivan store at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer and save up to $2,600 on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, Chrysler Town & Country. Save on quad seating, anti-lock brakes, and integrated child safety seats. Chrysler's National Minivan Sale.
See your local Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Hey, did you get what I got? You got what I got. I'm so tired of burgers. Hey, let's go to Arby's for some barbecue.
That's right, Arby's. They got this new Barbecue for only $1.49, loaded with slow-roasted roast beef, marinated and simmered in tangy barbecue sauce.
Just like at Skeeter's Barbecue Pit. Except you don't have to talk to Skeeter. Try the new barbecue. Just $1.49. Come on, what are you waiting for?
Arby's is different. Hey, different is good.
Hardware and Garden. More of everything. The world's finest storm doors from IMCO. Quality and craftsmanship built into every forever door. Guaranteed for as long as you own your home. IMCO Storm Doors at Eagle.
Have you ever noticed that of all the businesses listed under insurance in the Yellow Pages, only 1 or 2 even include the word service in their title? Oh, sure, there are all sorts of groups and associations, but there's one firm at the very top of the list that makes the service part of their title, Elliott Insurance Service. As an independent agent, Elliott Insurance can handle all your personal insurance needs with one simple phone call. There are real advantages to packaging your auto and home coverages together. See why service makes the difference. Call for proposal. Elliott Insurance Service.
Welcome back to sports. George Karl calls the Sonics a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team. If Dr. Jekyll makes house calls in Seattle, it seems Mr. Hyde definitely hangs out in Houston. Sonics with a chance to wrap up the series tonight against the Rockets. Game 6 here. And this old guy here, Ricky Pierce, is really carrying Seattle. Sweet move there, Ricky. Sonics lead the entire first half. That was Dr. Jekyll. Here's Mr. Hyde rearing his ugly head in the third. Kenny Smith couldn't miss a playoff career-high 30. The North Carolina grad hit 4 3-pointers. Rockets ignite, outscoring Seattle 36-15 in the third quarter. These are some ugly pictures if you're a Sonic fans. Houston rolls to victory 103-90. Series tied 3 games apiece. Game 7 from Seattle Saturday here on KNDO. And down south in Texas, San Antonio and Phoenix tied at 100 with 4 seconds to go. Give the ball to Charles. They say, Charles, win it for us. This is why we traded for you. Charles Barkley cans the 17-footer with 1 second to play. Suns win 102-100. Sir Charles and Phoenix advance to the Western Conference Finals. Next up, either the Sonics or the Rockets. A couple of other NBA notes. The league dishes out $17,000 in fines for that Sonic-Rocket mini-brawl Tuesday in Seattle. And the Clippers are looking for a new head coach. Larry Brown resigns yet again. You may recall Brown previously resigned as head coach of the Spurs and Kansas Jayhawks. He's kind of a basketball nomad. You can be sure, though, Mr. Brown will probably surface somewhere next season, possibly with the Indiana Pacers. Hockey tonight, Montreal Canadiens, the Cardiac Canadiens. They've now won 7 games in overtime in the playoffs. They are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Their 7 overtime wins in the playoffs is a new National Hockey League record. The Mariners look to salvage a split in Texas tonight. Ken Griffey Jr. given the night off, but hey, it's great to have depth. It's wonderful to have super sub Henry Cotto coming off the bench to crush a homer It was 1-0 Seattle in the 4th. Rangers regained the lead with back-to-back solo homers in the 7th, but in the 8th, Edgar Martinez pinch hits. Adios, baseball. A 2-run homer triggers a 6-run rally. Edgar, it's so wonderful to have you back. Nurse that hamstring, will you? M's head for KC with a 7-4 win. Rounding it out, the Tribe trips Baltimore. The first-place Tigers roll on. The Jays edge the Red Sox. The A's win in 12. National League, the sizzling Giants have won 6 in a row. Fred McGriff's 2-run dinger beats Colorado. Pete Incaviglia's grand slam powers the Phils, and the Cardinals top the Cubs. 24 golfers tried to realize a dream of playing in the U.S. Open. They would try to take step 1 today out at Apple Tree Golf Course. A beautiful course with all kinds of nasty water hazards. This is the club pro out there, George Price, figuring to have a home course advantage, and he would shoot a sizzling 69 on the first 18. Price chips close here on 12 and taps in for bird, but his putting would abandon him down the stretch. Kennewick's Mike Combs takes the lead here. This is a guy who played in the Masters with Jack Nicklaus, and he would finish at 4 under 140. Former Ike star David Putney, now in his 2nd year at the University of Arizona, with an awesome birdie there on number 12. Also Tommy Robillard, another local, teeing it up today. Tom, though, said he had kind of a rough outing. Now here's the guy who would keep Price out of sectionals, Spokane amateur Matt Bunn. Listen to this. He birdies the island green on 17 and eagles 18 to finish with a 142. Price had to agonizingly watch it all happen. He just misses the cut with a 143. And a big women's tournament out at the Country Club, the 41st annual Blossom Tourney. Ann Swanson and Pat Terry out in front. Locals Hubbard and Martin both in the hunt with 18 holes to play. And speaking of golf, how about it's time for another lesson on the links. Sun-Tides pro Paul Cobley with some very helpful hints on a very tricky shot.
Tonight's golf tips are brought to you by Pro Golf Discount.
Okay, I'm sure you've all encountered this dilemma before. Your ball's sitting here, you've got sand over there and the pin behind it. You got to get over this problem and make it stick on the green. Coach, how do you do it?
Okay, it's very similar to hitting a bunker shot. You put most of your weight back on your right foot and you keep it there throughout the shot. You don't break your wrist too much. This is more of an arm swing, and you just slide the club right underneath the ball and allow the loft of the club to get the ball airborne. Also, you want to have your hands even with the club face or even a little bit behind the club face this way to create more loft. You don't want your hands ahead and de-loft the club, then it'll come off at a low angle. This is Paul Cobley with KNDO Sports.
I sure hope that works for me next time out. Yakima heavyweight Joe Hipp says he plans to fight again in late July. I talked to Joe this afternoon via telephone from El Paso, Texas, and Hipp says his broken hand's healing very well. Remember, he had a pin placed right here in his hand, and doctors will x-ray that again in a couple of weeks. Hipp's presently ranked 7th in the world by the International Boxing Federation. Joe says that when he does come back, there's a possibility he might fight Tommy Morrison. Morrison might give Hipp a rematch, that is, providing Mr. Morrison beats George Foreman in a couple of weeks. Hipp, of course, nearly upset Morrison in this bout last summer, only to get knocked out late in the fight. So Joe Hipp on the comeback trail, and don't forget about Yakima's other big fighter, Rudy Nix. 1 week from Saturday, he will be in the Sundome. The weigh-in is scheduled for 1 week from tomorrow night.
Should be a big fight, lots of fun. We'll be back with the final look at cheers when we come back.
What happens when hot and cool combine?
Hot eats, cool treats at Dairy Queen.
Our famous Blizzard is on sale now for just $1.29. Or get a Breeze made with non-fat frozen yogurt, same price.
So good.
Fruit, chocolate, cookies, or candy. Blizzard flavor treat. Breeze frozen yogurt treat. Now just $1.29 each.
Hot eats, cool treats. We treat you right.
Beginning Friday is Yakima's biggest automotive clearance event. Yakima's leading dealers transfer over $8 million of new and used vehicles to the Valley Mall for immediate sacrifice. 3 new vehicles up to $8,000 off. Hundreds of program and used vehicles up to $7,000 off. Prices start at just $9.95. Get free price posted, but make us any offer. All our dealership closed will all be at the Valley Mall beginning Friday.
Thousands of bike accessories are on sale now during Cyclemania at Yakima Schwinn Cycling and Fitness. Bike stuff like pumps, $29.99. Headlights, $18.99. Body stuff like youth bell helmets, $19.99. And bike shorts are $5 off. In the bargain basement, inner tubes are 99 cents and baby seats from $5. The Hollywood bike carrier is just $39.99. Shop Cyclemania at Yakima Schwinn Cycling and Fitness, 507 West Nob Hill Boulevard.
Eagle Hardware and Garden. More of everything. Save on Bear Plus 10 stains, formulated for ultimate durability. Solid, semi-transparent, or deck and siding stains in custom colors. Bear Plus 10 at Eagle.
Finally tonight, the cast of Cheers takes a look back at their favorite moments.
For 11 years, Sam and the crew have been here. Well, tonight, they look back on their favorite moments at Cheers.
Why am I coming back here?
The place, the bar, you know, a bunch of losers who can't make it on their own. There's something appealing, and we are funny. They have been consistently funny, the shows.
Around here, when guys get together to send another guy off to his doom, things can get a little raunchy.
You fellas ever dress up farm animals in women's clothing? Well, then I'm one up on you.
I had a good time the whole 11 years, and to single out, you know, one moment would just be, you know, just too. I couldn't. No.
We could. After all, it wasn't all that often that Norm even left the bar.
See you in the morning, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I may be a little late.
No, it's okay. I had a key made.
By my calculations, our next president has to be named Yelnick McWawa.
Cook started out as a know-it-all, a true know-it-all that the coach looked up to. And then after Nicky died, he became more of a buffoon. He's also gained a little weight.
Hey, you got a big mouth, Clavin.
Hey, happens to be right, you know. Yeah, it's a genetic quirk in the Clavin family that we all have 2 extra teeth. You see, that's the only way that we can prove that we are the rightful heirs to the Russian throne.
Hello in there, Cliff. Tell me, what color is the sky in your world?
What's been great about Frazier is he always has an open mind, even if it seems like a pompous fool at times. He does learn, so he's always been able to change.
You've had some great moments. Are there any favorite moments on the show that that come to mind?
Favorite moments? It's always a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, there've been a lot. I enjoyed playing the clown.
Bring you to your act.
I don't have an act. I'm a psychiatrist.
I cannot let any man touch me, talk to me, or see me, or I'll be shooting out kids like a Pez dispenser.
My favorite show was the Thanksgiving show where we had a big food fight. Everybody came to my house, and I don't know if you remember, that was just so much fun to do.
I have never been witness to such a silly, soft... Sam Malone, kiss your butt. Goodbye!
Always a lot of fun on Cheers. Stick with us. Jay Leno will be wrapping up the Cheers night tonight. Good night.